What's going on, people? So, are there any Emery fans out there? I don't know if you can tell, but this is an Emery shirt. I saw them some time ago. I think it would have been 18 or something like that, 2018. That was the last time I saw them. They had a whole meet and greet thing, got to hang out with them for a little bit and all that. Little small room acoustic set, that sort of thing. That's pretty cool. And then one of the guys asked me about the shirts. Oh man, where'd you get that? When'd you get that? That whole thing. 'Cause he hadn't seen it in a while. I think this came from, if I remember correctly, the Take Action tour in 2007, which would have been with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus in House of Blues, Orlando. So, yeah, it's an old shirt, but since I haven't changed size since ever, a lot of my old clothes still fit, so here we are. But yeah, man, they're a pretty awesome band. I don't listen to them a whole lot, on a regular basis, but every couple weeks, I'll get really deep into it, listen to a couple albums for a day or so, and then, get it kind of out of my system until the next time. Anyway, so go ahead, feel free to share your favorite bands and whatever down below if you want to, or you can just be one of those people that skips past all of this stuff and just go straight into looking at what these shoes look like on the beats. I get a lot of that, I can tell. Anyway, so here's the thing, right? Initially, I had won a raffle for these from SVD, which is Sivadescalzo or something like that. But I don't know if they just had more raffles to give out or fewer raffles than they actually had shoes or something, because these are definitely still there, right? In some sizes anyway. But by winning the raffle, that meant I guess I just got them to ship out earlier. So these arrived sometime today. I was at work, so I don't know when it popped up. But here they are. Got a pretty cool top of the box going on there. I'm not sure if that's upside down or not. I guess it just works both ways, right? But anyways, it's built off of this whole thing about making the planet better and recycling and that sort of thing. Then you got on the side Asics / or X SVD, right? And of course that part of the box for those that want to see it. So that just says Beige and Black. That's easy enough. But anyway, so yeah, I saw these a while ago somehow, and I was like, oh, I remember that site, because I had bought some shoes from them years ago. The University Gold Safari Prestos, right? Yeah, and I remember that very clearly because they had the one last 9 in stock. It said one left. I bought it, and then something aired out, probably because the overseas thing, and sometimes your cards get fraud alerts or whatever, at least for me. So then it said, okay, it's out of stock. And I was like, well, wait, maybe it just wasn't there, so I wasn't sure. So I checked the site daily for the next week and a half. And then it came back in stock. So I'm guessing maybe it was just my card just being not cool. So I bought them that time. Everything shipped out like they were supposed to. Oh man, completing that pack was a train wreck. Did I ever do a video on those? I don't know. Probably not. But they're in my Presto collection video if you've ever seen that. So, moving along, getting back into what we're here to talk about. This is pretty alright. I don't know what's going on at the top there. That's weird. But it's something. And then pulling out the other ones, so they both look the same and all that, so that's cool. Oh man, yeah. But either way, they got with Asics and SVD got together, right? And so then they made this shoe. I don't really know why they chose to do that. If there was a special occasion or whatever, doesn't much matter. We're just gonna talk about it anyway. So, as I kind of alluded to before, if you saw the box and all that good stuff, this right here is the Asics Gel-Lyte III OG with a little help from SVD in whatever colorway they call this. But let's just go ahead and break this thing down. We're going to start with the bottom. That sounds fair. So down there, what you're looking at, right? It's pretty close to your standard outsole that I've at least seen on all my other Gel-Lyte 3s or whatever. Only difference being that this is kind of almost translucent in some ways, kind of a gum bottom sort of vibe to it. So you got that thing going on. Pretty cool look. And then as you skip over here to the upper side, right, still on the midsole though, you've got this sort of I don't know, that's sort of a yellowish, tannish sort of color going on. So you got that in that same sort of thing. That's just kind of squishy, not too serious though. But I like it. And then you got Asics down here on the side, right? Usually when I get my Gel-Lyte 3s, there's a little bit of a block of color or whatever. They didn't do that this time around. I was wondering why something seemed a little off about this, and that's what it is. But anyway, so there's that for you. Now let's go ahead and talk about this upper, which as you can see, kind of has a fair amount going on. So down here around the toe box area, all this is going to be some form of like recycled materials, right? So just know that going into it. So down here, I'm not sure exactly what it is. It feels almost like suede, but it's not going to be like your 100% standard suede thing, not at all. But it feels decent, you know what I'm saying? And then down here, you got those 2 dots or 2 holes, whatever you want to call it. Looks like it's going to be 3M this time around, which is a thing I haven't seen in a little while. Moving on to the top of the toe box here. This is sort of burlap sack situation they have going on. You got that, and that just kind of is what it is. You can see it. It feels like you would expect it to feel, which is not super soft, not super rough, but like overall, like okay, I guess. But anyway, so there's that for you. Let's go ahead and just keep this thing moving, right? So on here over to the side, right? That's where you have the standard Asics logo. So down here around the lower region, right, it's outlined in black. Up here on the upper region, it's outlined in green with a little bit of black at the top there as well, right? And from what I recall, on the logo itself, that's going to be some kind of eco leather. I'm not sure what that means. I just read it on the webpage and I was like, all right, eco leather, got it. So you got that going on in black. Behind that, you have more of that burlap sack situation going on. And then, of course, outlining it, as I didn't really say, but as you could probably tell, it's looking like some kind of suede-ish type material, but it does not feel like that. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's probably just more of that recycled stuff. And then, of course, you got the 2 little plastic lace holes at the top helping hold down the laces. Moving back just a little bit, over here to this heel area, it's pretty much the same as what you saw on the toe box, just on the back, right? So there you got that. Hopefully there's some good enough pictures in there and you can kind of see it's got a little bit of a pink in there, a little bit of red, some weird mix of that going on. And then on the outer side, it does have Gel-Lyte 3 stitched onto the side. Above that, you have just a little bit of a piece where the Asics logo from the middle area does kind of swoop around to the back. And then above that, making up that inner area, because like I said before, these are kind of built like Hirachis and such. You have this padding area that would normally be, well, in the past anyways, has been more of like a nylonish sort of thing in a lot of cases anyway. This time, I don't know what this material is. It feels very plasticky. And I know that it said that part of the shoe is made from recycled plastic, so that might be this piece. I'm honestly not quite sure. But either way, just know that it feels kind of weird. Kind of stiffer than normal. Very thick also. But anyway, so you got that, and there's like a bit of a light blue, bit of a black, some kind of a beige in there. So all those kind of colors. And then if you look back again to the back here, you have that at the very top. And since we're back there, might as well finish off that area. So you have another bit of that black piece, kind of like what makes up the swoosh, not the swoosh, the Asics logo. So you got that, and then imprinted on there is Asics, under that is Gel, and that looks like that's going to be a little bit of 3M. And then down below under that, I believe that's the SVD logo. I saw it on the box, so I'm guessing that's what it is anyway. But yeah, so you got that, right? And further down, you do have a green heel counter type piece going on. So largely, that's the outside of the shoe. Minus, of course, the laces. So let's switch back around and knock that out, shall we? So these laces are some kind of weird rope twine thing going on here. It's, from what I recall, I believe it's made from jute, which is the same material that was used on those Sean Christensen or whatever his name was, those bands that I bought a while ago. They're made by some artist or something. Can't think of the dude's name, but they're really comfortable though. But anyway, so this is kind of like what those were. So you got that going on, and it feels not great, but I mean, you kind of expect it not to, but it's definitely like not something I care for. It's almost on par with those Yeezys I've been reviewing lately. But anyway, so you got that, and it looks kind of, again, in the pictures it's probably going to look how it feels, you know. So if you've ever had like a potato sack or whatever, you know, that. But it's fine, you know, I mean, it's all for making the planet like, you know, better by recycling and stuff, so it's all for a good cause. So I guess that makes it okay, maybe. Anyways, let's go ahead and dip down onto the inside because I believe we've covered the whole outside. So on the insole, it's pretty much just black, right, with white text. One of these says Asics, one of these says SVD. Otherwise, that's pretty much all there is to it. And now, also, while we're looking at the inside, sock liner type area, all that stuff, it looks and feels like an old towel that is way past its prime. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on in here. And I say that not necessarily to talk down on this, but, I mean, these aren't fresh materials because they're recycled, right? They were fresh like however long ago. Now they aren't. And it shows. But it looks fine, So don't take that the wrong way. But anyways, that's going to be pretty much that as far as the whole shoe goes. So I believe we've covered everything. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about the personal thoughts, and then we'll get into the sizing and all that stuff. So I didn't really know much about this shoe when I bought it. I just knew that it was a brand that I've shopped from before, somewhere out in, was it Italy or Spain or wherever they are. And I saw this Gel-Lyte 3 and I was like, oh, I like those. So that's two things that I'm cool with. Let's go ahead and put in on this raffle. Sometimes I put in on raffles for things that I don't really expect to win, but this time it happened. So here we are, and I gotta say, it's a weird look. It is. Am I on board with it? I think I am. I can't quite say for sure just yet, but it's kind of growing on me the longer I look at it. So take from that whatever you want to. If you like these, again, I'll get you that on feed in just a minute here. And then that'll give you the other piece of the puzzle to help you decide if they're for you or whatever. But just right off the top right now, I'm thinking they're fine. So no real complaints. But now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and knock out this sizing thing and we can all move on. So here's the thing. 9.5. That's what size I buy in pretty much all my shoes, right? I've said that numerous times before. And these, to me, they are that true to size fit, so that's why I go with it. Now, if you do have a wider foot, and this information comes from Kyle Martin, maxed out Kyle as he goes by sometimes. Don't mind that truck outside, they're just doing whatever trucks do. So he was saying that he has a wider foot and he likes to have a little more room, not so into the snug fit thing. So he goes up half a size on his, right? So I guess if you have a wide foot, you may want to consider that as well. But for me, for what works for me, I go true to size, right? If you're not sure what to do, I guess you could just go up half and just hope that that works out for you. I mean, it depends on you. Would you rather run the risk of too much or too little room? That's a rhetorical question. I don't want your answer. It's for you to figure out on your own time. Now, moving on past that, once you get all that worked out, right? This here is one of the comfortable shoes, in my opinion. Now, it is built off of some older time comfort, sure, but it's still good for an all-day wear. So I'm not going to say that there's any problem with it. I'm just going to say, don't expect it to be anything amazing, right? The only difference with this particular pair is that when you put these on, they're going to feel a little bit different just because the materials are not what you would normally expect them to be. But it's not bad, it's just, it's a little thicker in some places, that sort of thing, as you saw. But I'm thinking they'll still be fine just to wear around, just not as breathable overall as some of the other things that you may have seen from the Gel-Lyte 3 series. But most people that are going after this are probably just getting it because it has a certain look that they're into, so I don't even know how much that really matters. I just talk enough to give you guys some on-feed pictures or videos or whatever, and then I stop, like I'm doing now. And so that's about it as far as the shoe goes and all that good stuff. So again, I'm cool with these, I don't know if where they'll rank overall in my Gel-Lyte 3s and stuff, but I do like having something that's a little bit different in the collection, and this is definitely a little bit different. So there you go. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Don't forget to leave that comment down below that I asked for if you're still watching. But for now, I think this was my last review for, I don't even have anything on order, so maybe for a little while. We'll see what happens. Later, people.